I was too busy to slow down and realize that I had no confidence. I had confidence from my achievements because I could achieve anything, right? I was like, oh, I set the goal, I'll do it. But I didn't have confidence in like who I was or what my purpose was, or just that it would be okay to I would still have value if I wasn't achieving other things, you know? And so then at this cafe, I can still remember the day I'm sitting with a pen and paper, and I was looking at these women passing by, and I was like, they are all beautiful. This whole stereotype of French women, it's so true. But why? Because they weren't all like super, super skinny. They weren't all, model-esque curvy. They all had different body types, except I went every single one of them, every different weight, every different age. They have more. Why are they more beautiful than me? And I was just curious about that. And I went, what is it? They're all confident. And because I was a nerd, I was like, and this was pre-cell phone, like you could look up a definition. I was like, well, let me thumb through my dictionary and look up how I was kind of embarrassed that I didn't know how to say, well, because I knew, I will speak in French for this. I knew that you don't say, elle est confidente. I knew that I had not heard people say, oh, she's confident. In French language, you don't describe somebody as being confident. They say instead, because I was like, that can't be the word. They say to be well in your skin. Because I looked it up and I was like, how do I describe these women? Because they're all different. They all have different style. But they're all stunning. And what I was amazed by, they were unrushed. No one was in a rush. And I was like, one, it's joy of living, joie de vivre. But then also it was like, they are well in their skin. That was like to describe that to somebody, you'd be like, elle est bien dans sa peau. She's well in her skin. And that's when I was like, well, shoot, that is what I am not. Like, that is what I am not. I am not well in my skin. What would it mean? And that just kind of started this whole thing. And then I spent the full year watching their eating patterns, watching their activity patterns, just watching their life, how they just didn't cram as much into their schedule. They weren't as obsessed about achievement and showiness as we are, or at least the circles I was in the States were. And so when I came back, I just was like, okay, well, this is it. I'm helping the world with this. Like, I want to help people and it's so interesting. I got into confidence and confidence coaching, and I really, the people I help are the high achievers. I help I sometimes like the most beautiful or most successful person in the room is often the one with the least amount of confidence, but nobody knows it. And I'm like, I get the struggle. And so that is what really launched me into this. And my takeaway now is, to very much on brand with what you teach on, is intentional living. They live with more intention. Yeah. And I think we live with ambition in the United States, and I love being ambitious, but I think there's a beautiful marriage between the two.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how we get there though, because everything you're saying is so true. The majority of people I talk to on this show have gone through something like that, are these overachievers. And then we hit this. Hello, I'm that too, and in my mind, achievement is love. Achievement is acceptance. Like, that is my skewed way of thinking. And I'm not going to put that on anyone to make me that way. It's something I've curated for myself, that if I do this, I will be loved. If I look this way, I will be loved. And that's, I think, a really common thought process for a lot of people.
For high
women especially, and then add in the high achievement on top of it. But even like, I know that there's something different about the European culture. And part of that is this like living life. Why do you think we've gotten so far away from just like living our life as opposed to rushing through our to-do list of life?
Right. You know what? I think why we are so focused culturally on achievements that we lose our priorities of what really fills us.